So stealth in D&D requires a couple of things when you're trying to make a good situation. First, it requires the element of surprise. Gotcha, bitch ass. I know.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
You and your party are going through this evil castle trying to take down a tyrannical king that's been ruling the land with an iron fist. So it's your guys' responsibility to take him down to bring peace upon this land. But unfortunately, he has found this amulet that has corrupted his soul and has given him the power to raise the dead. So he's been threatening to purge the land using this army and using the dead zombies, the skeletons, anything else he can get his hands on to wreak havoc upon the land. So you guys unfortunately can't do a full frontal assault. He has too many forces, he's too strong. So instead, you guys decide to be stealthy. But unfortunately for you guys are not really the best at stealth. Maybe like one or two of you are okay, but the rest of the party is more, typical fighters, paladins, barbarians even. So you guys like, you know what? Let's average it out. The DM's like, I'll be kind to you guys. Let's average it out so not one person ruins the whole thing for everyone. And you guys luckily decide to roll good this time. The gods have given you luck today, so you guys are actually rolling decent. So you guys are sticking to the shadows, taking down some guards so they won't see you, or you're able to have an easier way on the back out. And you guys are doing pretty good, sticking out of the line of sight of everything and everyone. You guys are doing good. But unfortunately for you, the one rogue in the party decides that I can do this better by myself. So they decide to split off. And for some reason, the barbarian, your boy John, who doesn't really like D&D, but he was mad that he didn't spend so much time with him anymore, so you kind of dragged him along and he made a barbarian named John, decides that I can go with him and splits off with him. And so the DM has to pause everything for everyone else. Okay, let's focus on the rogue and John over here. And the rogue, he has such a deep and tragic, very well-written backstory in his own words, but this, tragic backstory that is tainted his soul because he's been orphaned 19 times over, but he took the name of the 17th family that ever loved him because the fart buckles truly loved him like he was the own son. So he took that name, but they got murdered by the 18th family, but the 18th family got murdered by the 19th, and the 19th got murdered by the evil king. You see, follow the story, guys. It's written right there across 3 websites and some random video that the DM never saw. So look, Fartbuckle knows what he's doing. He's min-maxed his character, so he's going through the castle. He's doing good. The barbarian is sloppily somehow barely making his way with him, but armed group of these evil skeletons screaming, roaring, come walking down the aisle, trying to look for anyone and anything that is possibly, could pose a threat to the evil king. And so the rogue is there, is like, haha, my chance. Rolls the dice, rolls an 18, but plus all his modifiers gets up to a 30. He descends into the shadows. They cover him, they morph to him. He is hidden from sight. No living thing or dead thing can ever see him. The barbarian, on the other hand, your boy John, who was playing Clash of Clans on the side, wasn't really paying attention. I have to roll. And so he grabs one of the dice you gave him because he was complaining that he didn't have his own pair of dice and he had to borrow from everyone. So you decided to buy him his own pair a couple weeks back, and he's been pretty happy. So he grabs the D20, the funny little 20-sided one, and throws it. Rolls a 3. He looks on D&D Beyond. He's like +1, 4. And so the DM perks up. Is like, oh, they see you. They start charging towards you, and he looks at both of them. Roll initiative. And so the rogue is like, oh yeah, but I'm hidden, so I should be fine. Fartbuckle should be good. He is hidden. He has 19 cloaks on. He's hidden. He should be good. DM is like, no, they see you. You roll initiative. And it's like, oh, no, but I rolled a 30. I should be fine. I'm hidden. I'm good. I don't want to do this fight because I want to get around them, do my own thing. But it's like, the DM and all the wisdom and not have any people skills kind of, goes in a little bit, and it's like, but no, you're standing next to John. They see you. Roll initiative. And so the rogue is like, wait. it. And everyone starts arguing, everyone starts bickering because like, no, I could do it, no, please. And then the other guys who've been waiting the whole time because the rogue decided to have his own personal power fantasy is on the side just waiting. John is playing Clash of Clans, and the DM, the rogue, going back and forth, they're arguing. Everyone's like, you know what, let's just end session here. Everyone's kind of annoyed, no one wants to play. And you're kind of sitting there, it's like, well, maybe next week will be good. Fart buckle. That's kind of what I talk about today. D&D, stealth, and all the good things and bad things that come from it, and how the planning and preparation ultimately lead towards a more fulfilling and, you know, better situation for everyone instead of just one guy splitting off from the party all the time. But yeah, I'm the dreaded guy, the dreadful one, the dreaded DM, Jordan, or the reason why the soap bottle has instructions, and I just wanted to talk about it for a little bit today and why stealth in D&D can be really cool sometimes. So stealth in D&D is one of those things where multiple parties have to kind of be in agreements with it. You know, of course, it's a collaborative storytelling game. What if you collaborate together, something might work better? Who would have thunk of it? You know, it's the same thing with everything else in D&D. If you are by yourself and being like, I want to do this, and no one's like, well, how about we do this step? But no, I want to do it. So then the DM has to pause everything, like, okay, I'm gonna let him do this, and you get to have your little power fantasy. You might be by yourself. But see, the thing people forget about something like stealth, it requires the element of surprise. Yeah, but D&D, it's a collaborative effort. So if one person just wants to do it and is forcing everyone to kind of wait and stop and pause for them, the whole thing kind of breaks down, because where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in like people just standing over there waiting for their turn to actually do something that the rest of the group wants to do? Well, one guy over here is wanting to be Stan Fisher, is wanting to play his own Splinter Cell Blacklist. When they release a new Splinter Cell game, it's been over 10 years. What the yeah, but when you're doing this, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun if you add more people, if you add more, you know, ingredients into the soup. You know, if it's just soup, just water and like bones, well, you got bone broth. But, you know, when you're doing this, you want to include people, whether they might not have the most, you know, dexterous mindset or skill set. You know, our barbarian, like I talked about in the intro, yeah, barbarian might want to stealth sometimes, but sometimes, you know, that's just not going to be possible for the situation. If they're doing something very delicate and very agile, bringing the barbarian might not be the best idea, but that doesn't mean you have to leave them out of the plans completely. You can bring them in different ways. The barbarian can be in the corner somewhere doing barbarian can be in the corner somewhere, you know, messing up everything, kind of dredging up a huge ruckus that everyone starts looking. The barbarian, the paladin, the fighter, people who are more strength based, people who don't really mind missing out on a little bit of stealth, but they can still help out in the party. They can still collaborate with other players because they can be up there. They can be making a whole ruckus. They could be loud. They could be annoying. They could be just drawing the attention of everyone. So it allows people who do want to stealth, like the rogue, the monk, which another dex space person, someone else I'm forgetting, but letting these guys kind of even go there. Hey, hell, even like the artificer, where's the people who might is kind of squishy, so can't really, you know, deal too much, you know, frontline damage, but they can go off to the side and they can plan a little sneak attack or ambush on the other side and get a good advantage on the thing. That's how you can include people who don't necessarily want to stealth or can't really stealth given their class or like their roles and how they rolled on the stats. You know what I mean? There are ways to collaborate. D&D collaboration. Whoa, scary word. I know some of you hear that and are like, well, I kind of just want to be the cool guy all by myself, so I'm cool like that because my mom told me so. But you know, whatever. It's not like I've been playing D&D for a little over 6 months. I'm the dreadful DM. Remember that, buddy. Okay, remember that. But yeah, that's the fun things about stealth and D&D. When something like this, when in action gameplay, you guys can plan out. You can even talk with the DM, and that's how you get stuff like averaging out a, you know, stealth roll for the whole party. So if everyone's together and they want to stealth, one person messing up doesn't ruin the whole thing, all the plans, like at the very beginning. If the barbarian or the paladin or the fighter who might not have, you know, all the modifiers put into stealth because they're trying more the frontliners and care more about the damage, the health, whatever that may be, you know, if they roll bad, it doesn't mean like, oh, it sucks for everyone else, and that just takes away the rogue's, you know, ability to actually be a rogue, because it kind of sucks ass if you put all your points into being stealthy and all this, but then the guy who wanted to be like the tank up front messes up a roll. Oh, well, then why the hell am I the rogue? I'm just gonna go over there and like bop it or like twist it. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't matter. and then it doesn't matter for me, and then I just don't have a fun time. There are ways you can collaborate. There's ways you can make the middle ground as a DM. Just find the averages, or having like a threat level system. If someone messes up, then maybe the guards start noticing that some things are kind of iffy. The gate was left open, someone accidentally forgot to close it, so it's like, wait, did someone get in? Must have been the wind. It's like one of those things, like, kept you coming, something like that. Kept letting the group have still ability to stealth and still make their way through it and still have room for error, because it's not going to be one of those things where if one roll mess up, it's like, oh, the whole castle know where you are, all the skeletons are in the corner and start screaming again, and it's like, oh no, what are we doing? This is stuff like that we can work with. There's stuff we can integrate into our gameplay and be willing to compromise, be willing to find ways as a player and as a DM to have people who really want to stealth and people who are not so much into the stealthing aspect still combine together and form good in-action gameplay, good story beats and stuff like that. That's what D&D is all about. Just trying to collaborate, trying to find middle grounds for everything, and trying to make sure everyone is having an enjoyable time. Then, of course, there's going to be some times where there's like stealth is the only option, because if you try to fight that, red dragon at level 2, your ass is going to be grass, brother. There's just some things like that. Other times, like, hey, stealthing with like there's 80 people in here, that's not going to work, friend, because they're all looking at you. And it's not, it's like, it's not like, I'm gonna say Split, but like Metal Gear, put the box over and be some dumb shit like that, but stuff like that. And of course, there's gonna be some times where maybe your group is mostly dexterous, maybe they're all monks, rogues. I keep forgetting there's another one, but I just can't remember for the life of me. Even a fighter can also be kind of a little dexterous, but whatever, stuff like that where they more conducive to wanting to stealth, and that's even cool. I've been in situations where I've DM'd for groups who've had a monk and a rogue, and they had this whole warehouse fight, which is kind of cool, very badass. It was like one of my first times DMing for my friends, and it really went out well because they were just rolling really good. The modifiers really did into it, and that it just made it so much easier to talk about. It's nice when players are able to stealth, because it makes it a lot easier for you to like, oh, you do this cool thing, you do this, and then you actually are like Batman, Daredevil, Sam Fisher, all these cool, people in the night doing cool backflips and stuff. But sometimes you don't get that, and sometimes you have to like compromise. Sometimes you have to work with a player that might not be conducive to that. And that's fine. That's what D&D is. Just, working with something you might not be so good at and trying to do your best. Honestly, that's all you can really hope for. But just don't be that guy who kind of forces everyone to stop and just, so you can be like, yes, I am the one. Wow, so much tragedy, so much, my soul is so black. And the guy in the Jonathan corner like, dog, I'm playing Clash of Clans. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I'm trying to be throw a little more gags in there. I'm not sure, it might be a little too much, might not be enough. Tell me, because I don't want to like make a boring video. I want to make a fun one. I want to do something that would make me laugh if I were to watch it, or chuckle if I see the dumb fucking, skeleton, roar! I love that one. As far as it's gonna be like that, I will put that 4 times in this video, and no one's gonna stop me because I'm the editor. I'm the one who's filming it. And if you have a problem with that, leave a comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe, or dislike. Oh no, please don't dislike. My most recent video got 31 views. Everyone stopped watching after 50 seconds. What does that tell you? I just need to keep jingling keys in front of you. That that Markiplier meme. So that jingle, jingle, jingle. I have to. I'm just a jester, brother. Oh no. Bummer, dude. But yeah, sorry, talking about that. Before I get into a deep depression, thanks for watching. Thanks for, hanging out, listening to me, or just hear me yap for a little bit. Hope your rest of your day is going pretty good whenever you're watching this. Hope you have a good night's sleep. It's always good for you. Make sure to go on walks. It's good for yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say right about now. So, I will talk to y'all later.